Well, it was a great football game. Proud of the way we fought back in the second half and had multiple chances to get it back and get a lead. And obviously, it's one of those games. When you lose by 2 points, there's a lot of plays you think about. And, we were without a lot of players today. I thought our defense really battled, not having Aleem and Peyton and Drake and Tanner Engel, the kids that had to play in their place, played hard. And, offensively, we just turned the ball over 3 times. We missed 2 field goals. We had our chances to make that a different game, and we didn't. And you have to give Kentucky credit for that. But it was a really hard-fought game and a physical game as I expected it to be. So, proud of the way the kids fought, proud of our season. This doesn't make me feel like we didn't have a good season. We did. And it was a great experience. I'm appreciative of the opportunity to be down here and really excited that so many of these players are back. It's going to be a great offseason with them. So, questions?
All right. Thanks, Coach. Let's go to Gary Smith with the Florida Times-Union.
Yeah, Dave, these two teams don't have a whole lot of history, haven't played in 50 years. Why do you think it got so chippy out there today?
I don't know. Maybe you should ask them. I'm not sure. There was a lot of stuff underneath on the ground in the piles and different things like that, and it's hard to say.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Let's go to Lonnie. Lonnie, if you unmute yourself, I think you're good.
Coach, I know that winning is the bottom line, but I want to ask you also, how was it having a reunion with the old Youngstown guys in this particular game on the football field?
Yeah, Mark Stoops and I have been friends for a long time, and I have great defensive talks with him through the years. When I was coaching at Kansas and he was at Arizona, we recruited against each other in Dallas, Texas all the time and got to know each other well. And then he became a defensive coordinator at Arizona, and I was the D coordinator at Wisconsin, and we would clinic together. And so we've known each other a long time. We were both hired the same year at our respective schools. We've both done a lot of good things, and there's not many coaches that have been at their respective schools for 8 seasons. So I think it says a lot about what he's done, what I've done, and our staffs and our players have done. Tim Beck and him obviously grew up together, and so there's a lot of respect.
All right, thanks, Lonnie. Let's go over to Andrew Schnedeker.
Dave, how encouraging is the performance of the defense today, minus arguably your 4 best players, especially given that a lot of those guys who did that today are young players who are going to be back for you maybe in bigger roles next year?
It's very encouraging. And they were put in some tough situations after turnovers, so to have short fields and to have a 4th down stop like we did a lot of good things on defense today. Did enough to win, And anytime you play a game without Peyton Wilson, Drake Thomas, Tanner Engel, and Aleem McNeil, those are 4 really good run defenders against a really good rushing offense. We were concerned coming into the game about it. And not that we stopped the run. We didn't, but we did enough and kept them off the scoreboard enough to give ourselves a chance.
And I know Aleem is on to the NFL, and Tanner had the suspension from the targeting injection. Were Peyton and Drake injured, or? Yeah,
they were injured. Drake's been injured, and has kind of been playing through some things. And just from a recovery standpoint for both of them, we felt like to have them ready for next year and the way we want them to be able to play, we needed to do the things to them that were needed right after the last game.
Thanks, Andrew. Let's go over to David Thompson.
Hey, Coach, you said, a loss today doesn't discount all the success you had this year. Can you just talk about, what this team meant to you and kind of what this season meant for you?
Well, I love these guys, the players, the coaches, the staff. We went through a lot. Went through a lot last season. There's a lot of people talking negatively about us, and we stuck together. We came back with a growing attitude. We grew a lot together. We learned a lot from each other. A lot of guys stepped up this year and stepped into roles where they weren't starters, and injuries took place, and guys would step in and just play. Isaac Duffy Webb's a great example of that. I know Bailey's disappointed in himself, but he had a good season for us, and there's guys that stepped up throughout the season. So I love this football team. I'm excited about the guys that are coming back, and there's a lot of positives that we can take from the season.
And just to follow up, do you feel like personally this was one of your toughest seasons as a coach, just with, you know, everything involved?
Mentally, it was. You know, the number of things we dealt with that you just have never been through as a coach, trying to make decisions on, all the unknowns. And the thing is none of the leadership had any ideas. You know, I mean, Boo was trying to figure out his side of it. You know, President of the United States doesn't know what to do. I mean, everybody's trying to figure out how to handle this. And so you just made the best call you could, and you learned on the run. And we had a lot of really transparent conversations. We made mistakes along the way and learned from them, but it was challenging. I mean, there was so many times you weren't talking about football. And obviously that's not what I was hired to do, you know? So the whole thing, it was upside down, but I feel like we did a really good job managing it and learned a lot through it.
All right, thank you. And thank you, Coach. We appreciate your time today.
All right. Thank you, guys.